I'm going to start off our activity by sharing one of my favorite books with you. And I'm going to do that because it goes with the activity we are going to be doing. So this book is called The Pumpkin Book. And it is by Gail Gibbons, who many of you probably seen her books before. She does a great job with nonfiction and makes it a lot of fun to read. So this one's the pumpkin book because our math activity is going to go with, guess what? A pumpkin, exactly. This book is old, 1999. Mathematicians out there, how? This is easy. It was published in 1999. How old is this book? Oh, Gavin would have got that.
Oh, he just got here.
Okay. If you said 21 years, give me a thumbs up. Noah, why do you think 21?
Because you add the 1, and that's 2000, and then you add the 20, 21.
From 1999, one more would give us 2,000 years. Big pumpkins, round pumpkins, tall pumpkins, and there's some different. I had no idea that they have different names. Lumina, Baby Bear, Jack B. Little. Yeah, gardeners and farmers call them pumpkin varieties. So for types. Some pumpkins have a smooth, others have lots of bumps. Springtime, sun's rays begin to warm the soil. It is planting time. Some gardeners turn the soil, get ready to plant a small pumpkin patch. A pumpkins are grown. Some farmers use plows to slice through and turn over their field will eventually be a huge pumpkin patch. The soil is ready. It's time to the embryo, the baby. Look, it has the same. The busy pumpkin that succeed going to give you a big pumpkin. Little seed going to give you a little pumpkin. Sometimes pumpkin seeds are planted in rows. Sometimes they are planted in small hills. Several shallow holes are poked into the pumpkins. Each hill is grow down the soil. The radish seeds are starting to germinate. We're excited. Don't look in the child, see what's happening. Especially because I think we have some luck with them. After about 1 week, 2 leaves appear where each pumpkin seed was planted. These smooth leaves are called seed leaves. The curly tendrils wrap this around to help spread lines. What do you think that flower is? Yeah, that's where your pumpkin grows. That flower is off the beginning of your pumpkin. Pumpkin begins to grow when enough pollen from the stamen of a male pumpkin flower lands on the stigma of a female pumpkin flower. This is called, and you know it from second grade, what's it called? I knew it. Your second graders would be so proud. Sometimes pollen moves from the flower when the wind blows. Bees and their insects, and some bee cast travel from the flower in search of nectar. The female flower has a small green ball beneath its blossom. When the flower begins to grow, it is a very small pumpkin. Yeah, Denver Botanic Gardens. There's another one in Littleton too by. Yeah, Hudson Gardens. That's the one I'm thinking of. That's a great place to pumpkins and usually to 120 days before a seed grows. It feels hard and hollow it has. Often cheers and they cut like wood cutters. Often years of pumpkins from their vines, leaving every time they do. So they elephant ears and all. Did your kids go? I just never hear. How many of you been to a county fair? So I was out. Oh well, biggest pumpkin ever grown was in New York State in 1996. You're not gonna believe it. It weighed as much as a small car. 1,060 pounds or 41 grams. Bears are pumpkin eye too. When the Pilgrims New World, friendly American Indians showed them how to plant pumpkins. Thanksgiving, people of the Pilgrims harvest thanks for the food they would have through the cold winter months. They celebrate October, which is when? Tomorrow, October is my favorite month. A long time ago, people believed that ghosts, witches, and goblins roamed around that night. Some people built bonfires to scare them away. Later, October 31st was called All Hallows Even, which means Holy Evening. It was the night before a church festival called All Hallows or All Saints Day. All Hallows Even was shortened to Halloween. Today, Halloween is celebrated in different ways. And then they go on to tell you how to carve a pumpkin, but after looking at that pumpkin carving contest, I don't think we need to. Isn't it amazing that all this began with you? Pumpkin seeds. Glow, pumpkin glow. So we are going to do some math today. I am going to have kiddos at home get your math spirals and a pencil. And get a sheet looks like this. It's called Pumpkin Math. And instead of doing multiplication and division story problems, we're going to take a little break, but we're going to still use our math brain. So as you get your math spirals and your pencils, I'm going to pass these up. Go ahead and put your name at the top. Okay, you can grab one. You'll need it. This is our first time together. See how I do? And I was thinking I'd do it like she did and turn it around. Okay. Or not. I'll let you record it. That's fine. If you can hear my voice, say pumpkin. Okay, we're going to do this together. Listen up. First thing we need to know is what is an estimate? What does it mean to estimate? What is an estimate? Noah?
Like guess.
It's like a guess, but it's educated, right? You're going to use your schema, your background knowledge. You're going to use your common sense to make an educated guess. So here's what I want you to do at home. You're going to write number 1 on your paper because you don't have this. Right? Then I want you to write the word lines. I'm going to get a piece of paper and show the kids at home. Okay, so guys at home, since you don't have this, do you need me, honey? Can you get that, Mrs. Harrison? We're going to write 1. You're going to write lines. Then you're going to put an E for your guess or estimate. And an A for the actual, okay? So at home, we are gonna make an estimate about how many lines do you think are around our pumpkin? So I was gonna hold it up in front, but I'm not sure. Let me just hold it up here. How many lines do you think are around our pumpkin? And those are the grooves. That's what I'm talking about, these grooves. So on your paper, go ahead and write your estimate. Now you guys have it in front of you. All right.
I'm going 20.
My friends at home, would you raise your hand if you're ready to share your estimate? How many lines do you think are around our pumpkin. And Mrs. Harrison has it right there for you to see. Haley Calendar.
I think 21.
She says 21. Anybody else at home ready to share their estimate? Astria.
20.
20. Jensen.
32.
32. Lila.
10.
All right. Gavin.
10.
10. Around the whole pumpkin. All right. On the count of 3, say your estimate out loud. 1, 2, 3.
10.
I'm just going to put 50 as a guess. I don't know. Now, here's what I'm going to do. We are going to count together and see how many it actually is. You guys ready? I'm going to draw a line so I know where I started. You see how I drew that line? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I just want to say I want to change my estimate. Anybody else? Would you go higher or lower? Show me with your fingers.
Same. I go lower.
Okay,
14. Middle is 18.
14,
Middle is
15, 16,
17.
Not really there. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yep, 22.
I was close. I was off by 1.
All right, please write the actual. Write your actual. You guys will write your actual on your paper in your math spiral. So the next thing I'd like you to do, the next thing is we're going to do weight. So for number 2, if you are at home, you're going to write weight. How much you think and the actual. Okay, get that in your math spiral. You guys already have it written. I want you to be thinking. Think about your own weight, right? I'm going to ask you to be a listener real quick. Think about your own weight. Adults weigh over 100 pounds. Kids can weigh from, most of you weigh between 50 and 100 or so. Thinking about that, this is a pumpkin. It's not, Charlie, it's not going to be as heavy as you, right? So I can't let everybody hold it. I wish I could, but we're not allowed to do that. But this is me trying to toss it up in the air. Look at my arm straining, right? It's pretty heavy, but I can hold it. I can hold it. I can lift it up over my head. It hurts, but I can. How many, and we're going to do pounds. That's what we usually use, right? U.S. Standard Unit of Measurement. And you can use LBS for your abbreviation. And I still can't remember why they do LBS. So I want you to write your guess. How many pounds do you think it's going to weigh? And the abbreviation for pounds is LBS. LBS.
Actually, I'm not gonna play that. Actually, because she could barely pull it.
I did lift it.
I'm gonna go 6 points. I can actually do this. I can do this.
Now there's the way.
I'm doing 6.8. That's not.
Does anybody have estimates? Kids, what do you think? 10 pounds. Dave thinks 10 pounds. Let me hear from, who can I help? Reese, what do you think, Reese? And you know what? I can stop sharing my screen and it'll be bigger, right?
Then they can't see your paper anymore.
They don't need it right now, though. They might be able to see bigger. How many pounds, Reese? All right, Surnay.
8 pounds.
8 pounds. Lucas. 5. What are you thinking? Sunny. 18. 10. 7. 13.
6.8.
6.8.
Give us Robert. He's a
15.
16.
15.
15. And Robert. Robert, how many?
15. I saw 15.
15. Let's see.
I said. Not 15, not 15.
$9.4.
I said 7. I said 9. I said 5.5. I said 9.
So maybe you said 100 pounds. It was 9.4. Show me if your estimate was higher than the actual, like mine. Show me if yours was lower than the actual. Okay. Very good. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is something called circumference. Okay, kiddos at home, you're going to write number 3, circumference. This is my favorite one because I get to teach you something new. Paxton, what schema do you have about circumference? Anybody have any schema about what circumference is? Madison? Say one more time. No, but you can use inches to measure it. Abby, what's circumference?
It's like,
I've never taught it to you, just so if you know it from somewhere else.
I was gonna say, ready, but we already did that.
No? What are you thinking, Sunny? The weight, we just did weight. Weight is weight. Length, you're getting closer. Circumference is, oh,
The length around.
bing, 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 bing. Cole got it. Circumference is the length around. So, for example, I could find the circumference of my head, right? I could find the circumference of my wrist if I were ordering a bracelet. You could find the circumference of your ring finger. What about your waist? Yep. Anything that has something that's round. Because it's round, can we use a ruler or a yardstick to measure my head? No? That would be hard, right? I can't measure my thigh with this. What do we have to use? Do you know what this is called? A tape measure, right? Measuring tape. So I have this here. I want you to think about inches. Show me how long in inches. Right? About this much space. Very good. How many inches do you think would go around the big belly part of our pumpkin? And here I'm going to stop sharing. How many inches do you think will go around our pumpkin? Write your estimate.
Hi again, Reese. Is it going up or down? I saw it. I saw it. I'm gonna guess.
How many inches around? Like,
Give me a thumbs up when you've got your idea written down.
Leo, do you have an idea you could share?
50 inches.
Did you say 18 inches?
50.
15 inches from Leo. Lila Morris, how many inches? Jensen Cook, how many inches do you think the circumference is?
17.
17. Okay, let's hear from our in-person, Josh. 23. How about you, Mr. Charlie? 40? Okay, Lyric. 20. Okay, I'm just gonna put an estimate there. Write your estimate. Now let's see how close we are. Here we go. You can see I'm starting at upside down, starting at 0. I'm going to go all the way around the fat part of my pumpkin. And I got to 30.
What?
30 inches. Show me if your estimate was higher than the actual. Anyone's? Okay, show me if it was lower. Show me if it was right on, right in the middle there. Oh, wow, Josh and Ryder. Oh, well then yours would be, was it higher or lower?
Mine was 3.
Oh, okay, look at all that math thinking. Good job. All right, we've talked about the lines. We've talked about the weight. We've talked about the circumference. Now, I want you to make a prediction. Do you think your pumpkin, which is the one right there, will sink or float? So you're gonna write either sink or float Don't say it out loud. Just circle which one you think or write which one you think. It's up to you. We are going to test it. I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. While you are thinking about that, we're going to take small groups outside and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take, maybe I take like my whole class and then your whole class, then all the remotes. Would that work? Okay, so we're going to take this outside and let me stop sharing so they see it big. Okay. We're going to go outside and we'll share it in 1 minute. Okay, let's do my part first. You can't tell anybody.
I think it's gonna float. It's 9.4 and it's hollow. Cool. So it has like a Okay, I'm gonna take my apple. Okay, don't stand still because you just did
Speakers, on the interruption. Wendy has just sent out the parade video from today. If you would all like to watch it before the end of
So
the
I've
day,
only got one
go
right.
on ahead.
I mean, 2 right. I don't think it will. I got 1 right. I think it is gonna float. I think it's gonna float. I got 2 right. I think it's gonna float. I got 2 right.
It's probably gonna sink.
Why? We're gonna go.
I think it's gonna float because it's hollow.
Oh yeah, now that I think of it, I think it's gonna float.
How though? It's 22 pounds. That's a lot.
Yeah, except us humans can be more than 100 pounds and we can float.
Yeah, probably because there's salt in the water.
Well, what if it wasn't
Water
salt water?
Yeah, like
Then it won't float. Probably not float because if
Well,
there is
think
salt,
of us floating in a pool.
float.
Think of the pumpkin floating in a tub of water.
Technically, if it's inside of a tub of water, then you don't really get out of like the ocean has salt in it, and lakes have salt in it, but then
pools have salt.
but then does running water from a well have salt? Probably not. We don't want salt in our water.
Not lakes or rivers. They don't have salt water. Yes, it's floating. Right.
Well, strange. Oh, I'm thinking.
It's floating!
Probably because they dropped it in. Like,
That's
bounced it.
weird.
Well, even if they placed it in, it would still float.
Yeah, because it's hollow. If we were hollow, we would probably.
Well, more like because it's more like.
That's funny. That's funny because it's like hollow.
Raise your hand if you know why it floated. Finn. Because it's hollow on the inside. Think about that. There's air in there. Think about a fish. A fish.
That's what I keep saying.
Awesome. A fish that swims in the ocean has something called a swim bladder. It's like a balloon. It's filled with air. Elena, I want your whole body listening. Sawyer, listen. It's got air in it. It's like a balloon in their body. It helps them to float. We have some air in our body. We can float too, right? Depends. Sometimes I can, sometimes I sink. But most things that have air, like a raft, what do you do when you blow up a raft? You put air in there, right? It's hollow in there then. It just has air, so it's gonna float. Excellent. Now, the last one, number 5. Go ahead and write number 5. And this you're gonna write seeds, and I'll share my screen. Okay, seeds. Your estimate and your actual. How many seeds do you think are inside? I want you to write it. Okay, guys, you don't need to yell right now because I'm still trying to teach. Not now, Elena. Write the number of seeds you think are inside our pumpkin as your estimate. No, it's not fake. All right, how about Clara? Can you tell me how many seeds you think we're gonna find in this pumpkin?
I think 42.
I heard 42, is that right? Ish? Abby, what do you think? Ah, I can't count that high. What do you think, Sonny? 103. We've got quite a range here. What are you thinking, Miss Haley Booker?
97.
97.
102.
102. 101. On the count of 3, whisper what you think it is. 1, 2, 3. All right, guess what we have to do? Got to cut it open.
We have to do some pumpkin surgery, people.
Like you're the right person to do it. You're a doctor.
I know, but this time the bees are gonna go inside of it and check the seeds just to make sure that they're bad and not healthy.
Yeah, that's what I make sure. A couple weeks ago, me and my mom got pumpkins, and my family started carving, and two of the seeds in my pumpkin
Probably just like
started
4
growing.
seeds in there. There's not many seeds inside of a pumpkin at a time that I've seen. Every time I carve a pumpkin, there's like 3 or 4. At least 5 is the most I've ever seen inside of a pumpkin. 5.
Actually, probably 100.
How is it 100? That's a lot.
One time, seeds started to sprout inside of my pumpkin. Like they
I
were growing.
estimate 30.
I estimate 5.
I
Oh, 4.
estimated 22. I do not think there's gonna be 5 in there.
Ready, Ken? Okay, we're gonna count. Here we go. 5. Oh, goodness.
Pumpkin surgery.
10. Wait, don't let me lose count. Uh-oh. 15. Oh my. No, I was trying to. My friends and took them to week until they told them. 25. Uh-oh. 30. Oh, goodness. 35. 40. Oh my. Just, I haven't even gone inside yet. How many do we have? 45. If you would change your estimate right now, I haven't even gotten in there. Would you change it? Yes. No? I would. Oh boy. 133. Okay, I just counted 3 5s. So let's count by 5 3 times. 45. 50. 55. 60. Okay, hold that in your head. Hold 60 in there. Here's 20. So that's how many 5s?
You dropped the seed.
We'll pick it up. 4 5. So now we gotta add 4 more 5s to 60. 65, 70, 75, 80. Hold that in your head. Okay, I just counted 25. 5 more sets of 5. So we're at 8. So we start with 80. 85, 90, 95, 100, 105. All right, this is 30. So that's how many 5s? 6 more 5s. So we're at 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135. Okay, wait, now I got 50. Yep. So that's how many 5s? 10 more 5s. So we are at what? 135, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160, 165, 170, 175, 180, 185. Write it down on your paper so we don't forget. 185.
Oh my gosh. I'm changing it. Mine's 200.
All right, another 30. How many 5s are in 30? 6. You gotta add on. What number are we at? 185. 185. 190. Count with me, please. 195. 200. 205. 210. 215. Write it down. Make sure you have 215 written. I keep getting 30. All right, 30 more. What was our last number?
215.
So how many 5s are in 30?
6.
220, 225, 230, 235, 240, 245. Oh my God. Hey, I got about 50.
What?
How many 5s are in 50? 10 more 5s, and what did we end on?
45.
245.
250. 255. 260.
265.
270.
275, 280, 285, 290, 290.
I went to 345.
Okay, 50 more. How many 5s from 50?
10.
And what were we at? 295. 295. 300. 305. 310. 315. 320. 325. 330. 335. 340. 345. Did I do that right? Yep, you did. 345. And then because of time, I'm gonna try to get most of these, but we're gonna
gonna do an estimate to our estimate. Might not be the actual estimate. There's about 40 plus, I think. Yeah, there's some more. Okay, let's do 40 and then I'll give you the extra. 40, how many fives are in 40? 8. Good job. Okay, what were we at? 345. 345, thank you. 350. Count with me. 355. Paxton. 360. 365. 370. 375. 380. 385. And I'm going to tell you there's at least 15 more in there, which would make us up to 400. So, was your estimate higher or lower than that?
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Hey guys, can you sit down, please? Thank you. So we said about 400. I would have probably guessed 50. I would have been way off. My estimate would have been lower. So give me a thumb showing me where your estimate was. Was it lower than the actual or higher than the actual? Okay. All right. So how many of you remember that book I read, The Math Curse, at the beginning of the year? Okay, so now, like when you think about your pumpkin, I want you to be thinking mathematically. I want you to think, I wonder how many seeds are in here. I wonder how much this weighs. I wonder what the circumference of this pumpkin is. Another thing I want you to do, if you are going to get candy from Trunk or Treat or anywhere, I want you to think about sorting it. I want you to think about counting it. Good. But this year should be a little different. We use multiplication to help us. We counted by fives, which is multiplying by what? Maybe you should challenge yourself and put your candy in groups of 8 or groups of 7s. Or maybe you could put them in groups of 9s. Whatever count by is hard for you. Usually it's the 6s, 7s, and 8s that are really tough because they don't have as many tricks. Sort them in groups of 6s, 7s, or 8s. I'm putting the mathematical Halloween curse on you. That means that this weekend, whatever you're doing, whatever you see, you're going to be thinking mathematically. You're welcome. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing you, boys and girls. I'd like whole body listening. I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. And be safe, have fun, and we'll see you guys soon.